يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Welcome once again to another beautiful episode of Oh You Who Believe. Today is our 57th episode. Alhamdulillah. Thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives and giving us another opportunity to witness another beautiful day today. And as you all know, All You Believe is packed with scholars that will give you things to go home with. You can never leave All You Believe empty-handed, inshallah. So my name is Falilat Olubunmi Alabi, and I welcome you in the best of greetings. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Before we start the program, I just want to give us a short announcement. The first one being that the online fundraising is still ongoing. Please, we still need your money, we still need your support, we still need your help. You can volunteer your time, you can give us money. Just anything you think you can give us, to make this program, this project go on well. It's all we need. So please keep it coming. You can participate, you can join us either by volunteering, checking our website on www.myuk.org. You can contact us through the project coordinator via email, which is project.coordinator@myuk.org. You can call us, you can phone in, and you can participate in any way possible. Please do not give up on us. The media training is still ongoing. We said we want to be seen out there. We want to know what is going on in the media. We want to be represented fully. So we need to allow our young ones to learn how to do that. So please sign up your words to take part in the media training if the media were mine. So now I'd like to call on our sister to give us a recitation from the Holy Quran. She's one of the pupils of Haute Country, the Marcus. Is Sister Latifat Hassan. Latifat? Okay, yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمه الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل في ضلال مبين وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم وهو العزيز الحكيم ذلك فضل الله يؤتي من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفار بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين صدق الله العظيم.
Allahu Akbar. Thank you so much, Latifa. May Allah bless you and accept it as act of ibadah. Thank you for that beautiful recitation. Now, I still want to remind us to please continue with the donation, and you can ask your questions either by typing it through the Q&A. You can join the conversation by typing in the chat box, and you can raise your hands. So please, let's listen now to our speakers while I hand over to our moderator, Dr. Imran Alawiye. Bismillah, sir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم ملك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Oh, where's my camera going? Can you see me now?
No, sir. Your camera is not on yet, sir.
Not on, okay. Sorry, we just need to find it. I don't know why that was. Okay, yeah, I think
I've asked you to start video.
I think I found it. Yep, that's one.
Yeah.
I think I'm on.
Yes, you're on now, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. We thank Allah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa nusalli wa nusallim ala Rasulillah. Today, mashallah, first of all, we need to say Assalamu alaikum to all our brothers and sisters in Islam and everybody around the world. You're watching us, and this is our regular meeting every Wednesday. And today we are very blessed with very able two speakers who are going to educate us today. And we're going to have first speaker, let me just introduce Arena Jared Thorpe, is a management and fundraising consultant. We're so lucky to get hold of her to give us the education today. She's a social entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in developing educational programs for children, young people, and disadvantaged communities. She is the CEO of Engineering Minds and has worked as head of volunteering services for volunteer centers in Kensington, not far from me, Chelsea, Hammersmith, and Fulham. In her role, Arena has delivered numerous trainings in the UK, across Europe as a national expert for the Council of Europe. I hope you still continue even after Brexit, so please continue. During the years, it's attracted funds from European Union programs with itself and local councils and many other trusts for community projects and new grassroots businesses and groups. I can go on and on and on. She has developed and run successful after-school programs across Europe, supporting disadvantaged children and young people to enter higher education, postgraduate education. As if that's not enough, she has a master's degree in Business Administration, MBA, and International Projects Management. We are so lucky to have you with us today. So we have our second speaker again. Let me just give you a little bit of background about our second speaker. That is Dr. Mrs. Samiat Abubakar. Is active within University Muslim community from as early as in the 80s, mashallah, with MSS, University of Ibadan. That's southwestern Nigeria. She's currently a lecturer in the Department of Linguistics and Nigerian Languages at the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Experts in linguistics and phonology, and had a PhD as well in applied linguistics. MashaAllah. And again, more to say, as a certified translator, English, Yoruba, English, you name it, Nigerian languages, and an interpreter as well. She is also a radio broadcast presenter. I could make an article on this. So she's married, of course, and looking forward to a lot of grandchildren, inshallah. So we are in for an excellent treat, inshallah, today. So I think the first thing that we need to, without any further ado, I don't know whether the Man UK Secretary General, Brother Abdul Latif Sanusi, in the audience, the attendance, to do the Man UK COVID-19 recovery support.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Are you there?
Wow. Yes, alhamdulillah.
And willing as well, yes? Okay, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you very much for having me this evening, our respected OU Belief team and all our viewers. Indeed, the management appreciates what you are doing, and we are always proud of you. May Allah reward you abundantly. I also greet all our guest speakers. Mr. Arina, I greet you there.
Thank you.
Yes, I am here this evening to unveil another project from the stable of Secretariat of Old Kent Road Mosque Muslim Association of Nigeria. This project will mainly be a workshop program. We call it Man UK COVID-19 Recovery Support and Empowerment Program. This time around, we have able support of another international funding body called Global Fund Project, Muslim Charity Forum, MCF. This program is going to be a 6-month project supporting individual and community. We have the following lineup of programs. There will be volunteering to employability training workshop. I'm sure our guest speaker, Irina, will shed more light on this when she's doing her presentation. We also have one-on-one career audits and skill audits for those who are interested. This is part of the package we have for you. We also have post-lockdown general health advice and free health and well-being checkup. This will be handled by our well-being and outreach team of Muslim Association of Nigeria. They are fully prepared for that. Also, we are going to have entrepreneurship and how to set up your own business. There's going to be a workshop on that, and that will be handled by Dean for Real Communication. As we all know, we are gradually coming out of lockdown and restrictions. There can't be a better time for this project than this period. We all know that the impact of COVID-19 means many have missed doctor's appointments, developed different health issues, and have a lot to catch up about our well-being. That is why we are coming up with this program. The good thing about this project is that there will be something for everyone, from the old to the youths, members, non-members, mosque users, and so on. Everybody will have something to benefit from this project. Our guest speaker and our long-time partner, fundraising and management consultant in person of Irina Jarrett, will shed more light on the other aspect, the employability and the other employability aspect of the project, inshallah. And as time goes on, more information will be coming out for us, how to register, the date of our program and the time. All these things we hope to issue the flyers as time goes on, inshallah. So I would like to allow our guest speaker, Irina Jarrett, to continue from where I stop on the project, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Olatunde. It's really a big honor for me and a big pleasure to be here with you tonight. And I really hope that this project is going to support, as you said, everyone in your community, because this project indeed has something for everyone. It's a project that comes at a very difficult time for all the communities, and I'm sure for your community as well. A time when many of us have lost dear ones, a time when many of us have been even more isolated than before, a time when many of us have lost their jobs or have found themselves in, reduced income, but still having to pay for all the bills, still having to face our struggles. So we are very grateful to the Global Majority Fund to offer us this support, because indeed through this support they enabled us to put together a number of workshops that hopefully will bring hope to many of you. We will focus during this project on supporting people to catch up with their well-being, to find out, how they can catch up with seeing their doctors, seeing, the practitioners that during all these months have not been able to meet with. But also we will have to look into how can we help everyone to find meaningful jobs and meaningful work that could help them to pay the bills, could help them to have a good, prosperous life. And as we all know, it's not easy to do that. It's not easy in this economic climate. Is not easy when we come from a minority background. It's always quite difficult to find and to keep good employment, not just a job that pays a little bit, because as we know, there's many of us who work and they live still not a very easy life, because the salaries they receive are not cover their needs. So to find meaningful jobs that could pay for what their families would need every month. But where do we start? I'm sure that is a question that many of you are asking themselves very often. Maybe some of you have been looking for work for a while. Maybe some of you have been in a job role that was not necessarily paying enough and supporting your family enough. And the challenge of finding a new job is always very, very big. Where do we start? I prepared a little presentation for you this evening. So if you allow me, I'm going to share my screen. Thank you. And sorry, view slideshow. And perhaps one thing I should have said was a little bit about me. So first of all, I want to let you know that I am an immigrant myself. I am Romanian. I'm one of those Eastern Europeans that came into this country to take people's jobs. I'm obviously joking. I didn't come in this country to take anyone's job, but this is the perception that many people have about Eastern Europeans, unfortunately. I came to the UK to study. And here I've done a master in business administration. But before that, I was running in Romania a charity for children abandoned by their parents. I'm sure you know a little bit about the orphans of Romania. Children infected with HIV, children that were left for many years in hospitals. So coming from that background, after I've done my MBA, I didn't aspire to work here for a corporation. I wanted to continue my work in the third sector and to make a difference with my work in this world. So I started working as head of volunteering services in Kensington and Chelsea, and as well in Hammersmith and Fulham. But I think what defines me the most is the fact that I am a social entrepreneur. I'm someone who really believes in creating our own luck, creating our own companies, creating our own jobs, and just breaking down barriers. And more than anything else as well, I am a volunteer. I am giving my time to many organizations for free, or very often I don't think about money and I think, how can I help people around me? And that brings me a lot of satisfaction. And I must say that in my past, that brought me a lot of opportunities as well. So when I was very young, and maybe before I had so much experience and before I have established myself in the UK, I still needed to prove myself as a new immigrant in this country. And the way to do that for me was through volunteering. I started volunteering for Hammersmith and Fulham Volunteer Centre, and in a few months I got employed there as a project manager, then as a head of volunteering. So for me, volunteering indeed was a route to employment and a route to a meaningful career. Now, what is volunteering? So my little presentation today just aims to get you to be a little bit curious about our coming training, which is going to go in much more details and is going to explain over 3 hours how you can really transform a volunteering opportunity into employment, because it is possible to do that. But the first question that everyone is asking is, what is volunteering and how do volunteers manage to make a living? How do volunteers manage to give their time for free and also, pay for their bills? And that is a very legitimate question. And the answer is they don't. They don't give their time for free and then manage to pay their bills out of that. No, volunteers give a part of their time for free, but it's not for nothing. Volunteers should receive a lot of opportunities in exchange for the time that they offer to organizations and in exchange of the skills that they offer to organizations. Volunteering basically means that everyone contributes to improving their own life and their own well-being by making the world a better place, by supporting the organizations that they work with to make a difference in this world. And there are a number of benefits, 3 main benefits, but each of them is actually very complex, and each of them is basically an umbrella of benefits, an umbrella of advantages that come from volunteering. The main thing, the first thing for me, and you might recognize that as well, is that volunteering connects you with other people around you. Volunteering allows you to break the isolation. If you're a new mom, or if you're a mother who for years has been looking after her children or just started looking after her newborn, you would know very well how isolating that feels, how every single day looking after your children, you really long for that communication with some adults, that recognition of yourself in a different role than the role of a mother, which is the most important role in this world. But we also need to be recognized for, our thoughts, our capacity, our skills, where volunteering allows you to connect with other people, allows you to make friends, allows you to feel part of a team. Volunteering is also good for your mind and for your body. Volunteering takes you out of your house, takes you out of the routine that you might have the same for years and years and years. Maybe for years and years you have been just taking the children to school and coming back home to the chores at home. Or maybe for years you have been looking after someone, being the carer of someone. Or for months even, you don't need to be doing this for years to feel isolated. It's enough to do it just for a little while, to feel isolated and a little bit helpless. Well, volunteering actually gives you an opportunity and the reason to go out of your home, go out of your, four walls around yourself and move, meet people, be out in the light, be out in the fresh air. It makes so good to yourself, to your body, to your spirit. And then volunteering, the third very serious and very important benefit is that volunteering is really a path to employment. And when I say that, is volunteering allows you to fill in gaps in your CV. Maybe at some point, for a while in your CV, there's nothing to show. Well, you can fill that gap in your CV with some years or some months of volunteering. Maybe, for a while you have been looking for a certain role that you don't have much experience for. Well, through volunteering, you could show experience in that field. And I wonder, very, very, very often people, before they start volunteering, they try thinking, why do they want to volunteer? And, people want to volunteer because they want to give back to their communities, isn't it? They want to give people to get that feeling of achievement and to contribute to the development of a community and for helping others. As we said, they want to develop skills and help their employability. And they want to be part of an organization and they want to be part of a team they believe in. And volunteering does bring people together, does bring camaraderie between people, does support networks and teamwork. Now, what is employability? Employability really refers to someone's capability to gain and maintain employment. So it's not only to get a job, it is also to maintain that job and to be able to grow in that job, to be able to develop a number of transferable skills and to be able to use them in your advantage. And for each of us, employability depends on our knowledge, on our skills, on our abilities, but very importantly, depends on the way we present those assets to employers. Because very often people are quite shy when it comes about presenting their own skills to others. Very often people think, what do I know? Am I really able to do this job? And we hope that the training that we're gonna invite you to is gonna show you how many skills you have that you're not aware of, or you don't know how to present to an employer because you've been taught since you were very young to be modest, isn't it? Isn't that true? We all have been taught since we were very, very young. Be honest. Don't go on about your achievements. Don't boast about how great you've done in school or how wonderfully you helped your mother or, just be modest. But then at some point in our life, we're supposed to change that patterns and suddenly be able to, frankly, sell our skills, sell our experience to an employer. Because when we get employed, we actually sell our skills to that employer. But how do we do that when we have been taught in all these years and we have been used in all these years not to go on about our skills? It's quite a challenge, isn't it? I think it's not easy to break that little pattern, and we hope that through our little training, we will be able to help you to do that. Now, how can volunteering enhance your employability? Well, you will give your time, indeed, without expecting a remuneration, but you will not give your time without expecting to have your expenses covered. So any organization should basically cover your costs. If you do pay for transport to go to volunteer, I would encourage any organization that wants to involve you to pay for your travel expenses. But there are a number of things that you should also look to gain through volunteering. Enhance your CV, but that's quite a general statement, isn't it? How do you enhance your CV? Basically, by being able to provide very clear examples of ways in you dealt with different situations. If you are looking to do some admin role in the future in a paid position, then by volunteering for an organization as a receptionist, for example, you will gain a lot of examples that you would be able to give to an employer of how you dealt with maybe a difficult client, or how you multitasked, or how you were very good at organizing the work during a day. You will get a lot of opportunities, and in addition to that, you will get a taster of the job that you're hoping to embrace in a paid position. I would say it's not really rare to discover that we dream to get a job and then get that job and discover it's not exactly what we hoped it is, isn't it? It happens. It happens that we think life would be so easy if we get that job, or life would be so interesting, and then we get that job and it's not exactly what we hoped it was. So by having the opportunity to volunteer, you will actually have the opportunity to try a role that you might want to put your whole effort in securing as a job. We said you'll gain experience, you'll be able to give all those examples, and very importantly, you should get further training and possible qualifications. Any organization that deals seriously with volunteers should be able to provide you with training. It doesn't have to be a big, complex training, but it's important to provide you with learning opportunities. And sometimes they will be even able to provide you with qualifications. Very importantly, they will be able, and they should give you references. So when you're being asked, when you apply for a job and you're being asked for 2 referees, you should be able to give some names from an organization, which, makes a big difference, isn't it? Also, it could give you a chance to actually apply for a job if a vacancy comes within that organization. You'd be one of the first people to probably be invited to apply for that job. It would show commitment to any employer. If you have been involved in a volunteering role for a few months without, or maybe a year or something, without being paid, then surely your chances of showing the same commitment in a paid role are very high. So the organizations should be really willing to have you. And there are a number of other ways in which volunteering really enhances your employability, but we'll go into that during our training. How do you choose the right role and the right organization? It's a good question to keep in mind when you look out to volunteer. You will give time, so you need to receive something in return. You give time, you give skills. Your time is limited. You all have families. You all have so many responsibilities and so many commitments. If you give your time to an organization, then you should receive something in return. And that is going back, in our training, we're going to look at how you should establish your employment goals, how you should discuss them with your hosting organization, and how that organization should put clear effort in supporting you to achieve those goals. And it would be an important part of our training would be to look into how can we assess whether that organization is the right organization for us to volunteer, or whether we should look for a different one which provide us with more learning opportunities. So I hope you will join our training, and I hope you will finding useful. Now, our training will take place on 20th of August from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The enrollment details will be sent out soon, and we really encourage you to book as soon as you get the details, because there won't be an unlimited number of places. Our training will be an interactive one. It won't be me speaking to you, because that's boring. And frankly, I think in 10-15 minutes, you would be probably switching off and thinking at something else. It will be an interactive training when we will work as a team. We will talk to each other. We will be open with each other. We will talk about our goals, our aspirations, our fears, and we will share meaningful experiences. And for that, that can't be done in a huge group. So we'll only have about 15 places. So I do encourage you to apply as soon as you receive the details. We will provide other training sessions. It will be a skill assessment workshop, when I'm really looking forward to that training, because as I said, I really think people are too modest these days. So I'm hoping we will together find a number of skills that you always had within, and you will use them to move yourself into a good place. I'd like to help you to perhaps set up your own business if you're looking to set up your own business. And also, I'm going to support ManUK to improve their volunteering management systems. So that would be a separate training for people working or volunteering with ManUK and supporting your wonderful organization to be one of those wonderful hosts of volunteers, wonderful organizations that really empower everyone that works with them. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In fact, you've laid on this roadmap, and as you were speaking, my mind said, where were you when I was looking for a job when I was younger? I would love to attend this, and then really I encourage everybody really to already, I am really amazed about the brief outline of this roadmap pathway to meaningful job, and that's what's good for your mind and soul and body and opportunity, more qualification, and so on. I'm sure there will be questions for you later on if you can't be around for us after we have listened to the second presentation. There would be half an hour for question and answer. Thank you so much for articulating these. I can see why now you are the Roman ambassador around Europe and all over the place. Well done. Thank you. We're lucky to have you with us. and I'm sure we would gain a lot from your vast experience. Thank you so much. We'll come back to you later on with a lot of questions. Now, may I just see whether we have our second speaker on board, Dr. Samiat Abu Bakr, and if I can give you about 10 minutes or so for your presentation, please. And the topic is trauma healing, how to help. This is much needed analysis of this particular issue. As they say, there are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds. Dr. Mrs. Samiat Abu Bakr, please. Do we have Dr. Samiat on board? Dr. Samiat, you need to unmute, please. Fantastic. We got you. Is it me or we cannot hear you yet? Yeah, we need your volume up a little bit, please, if possible. Volume, please. Wa alaikum salam. We need a little bit of volume, is quite low.
I'm trying to be louder, but I have this device. I hope to move to the bigger device so I can.
It means anything you can do to improve the volume.
The volume.
Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
I've just heard what you said now clear. So let's maintain that level, please.
And I am having a feeling that the video might actually be affected because like I'm putting my mouth to the mouthpiece.
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go.
Give it a go, mashallah. I will be live in a second. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Samiat. Can I just interrupt you a bit? We can't hear you at all. And then I think you might have to readjust the placement of your device. One, I think the placement is not allowing it to catch your audio. So it's away from you. That is one. And then your camera is not well placed. So if you can just please push your camera away from you a bit, your device away from, yeah, you are getting there. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. We can't hear you yet. We can't hear your audio. Hello. Maybe can you log out and re-log in, and make sure you press on your audio.
Is it possible to run the appeal in the meantime, or we wait for?
Yeah, I think maybe we should take the
control to run an appeal.
Yeah.
then we'll reconnect. Brilliant.
Just under 60 seconds, I'm going to tell you why investing in this opportunity will change your life. Are you ready? Start the clock. Over 20 years ago, a group of believers acquired a derelict pub slap bang in the centre of the old Kent Road. As we've grown, so has our need for space. And we are embarking upon the journey of a lifetime to extend the good work of this masjid. And we need you to join us on this journey. Let me remind you of Allah's promise. Whoever builds a mosque for the sake of Allah, Allah will build for him a house in paradise. And it doesn't stop there. The masjid that we build will continue to give you rewards for as long as it remains standing, perhaps decades after you pass away. Think about all the people who attend the mosque to pray 5 times a day, every single day of the year. The Jummah service that is attended by hundreds of people, the hundreds of youngsters learning how to recite the Quran, and your fellow brothers and sisters breaking their fast in the month of Ramadan, right here in this masjid. Inshallah, you will get a slice of the reward. All of these and more coming straight to your scale of good deeds. So what are you waiting for? Help us build this masjid. Sponsor a prayer space and get your friends, neighbours and loved ones to sponsor one too. Or even better, get together and sponsor a whole saf. And inshallah, watch how Allah elevates you in this life and the next.
MashaAllah. Are we back now? Let's see.
I'm back now.
MashaAllah, that's better.
It's better. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, Jazakumullah khairan. Without wasting much of our time, let me quickly just run through the outline of what I have to present. Actually, the topic is trauma healing. How do we help? I have looked at the topic from the angle of what actually is trauma and how can the Muslim Ummah be of help. There have been help around. People have been rendering help. In fact, I got to know about this trauma healing through an organization in Nigeria, which is located in Abuja, organized by the Christian. And what I got from it was very marvelous, and it's actually make my mind to be doing this kind of presentation when I have the opportunity. And I don't want to just waste our time. Trauma, like we know trauma is an emotional responses to a terrible event, like an accident, rape, or natural disaster that is characterized by shock and denial after the event. That's what my professor, Andrew Zamani, actually had, how he defined it. And truly, like we know, trauma is a response to certain occurrence in the society. We will be able to establish that fact that there's a need for us to be mentally and physically okay. And of course, the connection between our mental and physical health is the result of our performance, is the way we will be able to perform. So looking at it from the angle of a traumatized person, anyone who is traumatized is assumed to be imbalanced from the angle of the spirit, the mind, and the body. The relationship, the connection cannot be harmonized. And what actually are the causes of this mental, trauma? The causes are so many. In fact, the topic about trauma is so wide that I have to really peg myself to a particular aspect. There are so many other aspects of it that we might not be able to touch due to the time factor. First is that the spiritual. When we say a person is traumatized, like everybody is experiencing a form of trauma at any point of their life. We have experienced death of a loved one. We have experienced this recent one, which is COVID-19. It is a natural disaster. It is a natural occurrence that even though there's that insinuation that it is caused in China and it is caused in this way, it has affected the whole world. And of course, its effects on the whole world has caused us some trauma. Everybody is in a state of fear. We are psychologically disorganized. We are psychologically disturbed. And so for one of such things determine the state of mind of a Muslim. I'm taking it and contextualizing it from in the angle of the Muslim now. That as a Muslim, if this occurrence happen, if this thing is affecting us, a person as an individual, then definitely the ability to perform the duty assigned to us, the duty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do, will be so reduced that at least we can see it. We were restrained from going to mosque. Even if you go to mosque, you have to maintain distance with someone who is there and so on. For that, we will notice that the effect is not only minute. It is wide. It is affecting us as a community, and as a community, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has told us that we are the best effort for mankind because we forbid what is evil and enjoy what is good. Then, if we now have people, even ourselves as a traumatized person, how do we be of help? From the angle of an individual, the first I realize is that we have to be aware of the fact that trauma is part of life, is part of things we will always experience, because it is a state of fear. For anything around us at all, we will be scared if something happens. And so if we are scared, the next, of course, is that we become afraid and we are disorganized. And so if a person is traumatized, like I said, every one of us is traumatized in one way or the other. If we are traumatized, like all the list I mentioned of what actually could be causes of being traumatized, spiritually, even from the spiritual angle, everyone is feeling it, that Allah, accept any act of ibadah that I'm putting forward from me. And that is why we see that the Prophet ﷺ enjoined us that we should live or serve Allah with fear and hope. So as Muslims, we have to be hopeful of the mercy of Allah. And taking it from the angle of an individual, as an individual who, of course, is aware that there's need to harmonize the mental and the spiritual, the mental and the body activities. We need to, first of all, be aware. We have a good understanding of engaging more in reading the Quran. We have to read the Quran. We have to reduce and minimize our exposure to avoidable causes of state of ill health. Many do beyond their own capacity. Many people take, for instance, they just concluded Salah, Eid al-Adha. Some do not have the money to make the sacrifice. They still went to the extent of going to buy it on credit. And of course, after the whole Salah is gone, they become another human being entirely. When anybody knock on the door, they assume it is their debtor that is coming to ask for the money. So one of the things we should do as an individual is for us to try as much as possible to reduce anything that will give us stress, that will expose us to having the trauma. Another thing is we should worry less about things that we don't have control over. There's so many things we don't have control over on this earth. There's so many things that is beyond our control. All we can do as a Muslim is to try our best to submit to the will of Almighty Allah, that whether the good or the bad happen, we should take everything. Like Allah has enjoined us that the Muslim are those, when anything happens to them, they say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. From Allah we have come, and to him is our return. And for that reason, if a Muslim is so conscious of that, the extent to which it will be traumatized will be reduced. And another thing is that we should resort to prayers. We should resort to the recitation of the Quran regularly. Very often, we should make it part of our daily activities, that we recite the Quran, we meditate on it, we try to think of what Allah actually expects from us. And of course, we control, for those who have had some level of blood pressure, anything stressful, we should try as much as possible not to be exposed more, not to take it for granted. We should always take care of our health, take our medication as much as possible. And of course, we should avoid any materialistic tendencies. My friend is buying a particular type of thing, I have to buy it. It's not in the character of a Muslim who want to live without being traumatized. And that is just saying that we should cut our coat according to our sizes. And of course, we should try as much as possible to speak out. We are in a community where we have at least a Muslim neighbor. If there's anything that bothers us in our mind, we should not hesitate to seek for help. Seeking for help is one of the beginning of solving the problem of being suffering from trauma. Because of the time, I don't want to go into the main prevalent traumatic situation we are having today. We find out that some children in the home are being abused. The father at times actually abuses his daughter and so on. We don't want to go into that because that's another topic entirely, because gender-based violence, which is now prevalent, is another aspect entirely that has given many people the stress and the trauma. And so speaking out from the angle of an individual is very, very important. Now, as a volunteer in the counseling and trauma healing, one of the best things for a person who a traumatized person walk to is to be able to keep the secrets, to be confident, to maintain some level of confidentiality. We should keep whatever the person had come to explain to us, has come to maybe share with us so that we could be of help. And of course, we should have an enabling environment. I can overheard the first speaker saying that volunteerism. I think that aspect is very, very important for us as Muslim Ummah. We have to volunteer to look after the well-being of our neighbors, our friends, or even sometimes someone it's been very, it's an extrovert, it's always talking, it's always coming out, it's not coming again. Rasulullah enjoined us to look after, to check on that person. And lastly, we have to be empathic. And when I say empathic, it is not sympathy. Being empathic means that we should have a kind of placing ourselves in that person's shoes. And of course, be genuinely ready to assist. And then we should not make it a point of ridiculing the person. There are so many issues that could traumatize a person. I don't want to go about it. But for issue of that, we know as Muslim, we have to visit the person. We have to give counseling. We have to advise, especially those who lose their loved ones so close to them that they have that attack, that traumatic experience. And of course, the last aspect that I emphasize here is that setting up a system to train and help the traumatized. This aspect, what I mean is that we have to set up a system. I can overheard the first speaker saying that we have to have a training. The training, we can do it in so many ways. We can do it in group. We can have a particular focus. For instance, someone who is bereaved, there's a way we could help in reducing the level of the trauma in the person. Someone who is raped, I have some videos that I downloaded that I could actually share with us on a person who, a child who was raped several times by the father, and of course she was taken up by some group and was rehabilitated. So we need to rehabilitate. We need to help people out of their traumatic situation through this training and offering of help, so that we, of course, fulfill our goal of coming to this world, which is to be the best of mankind, to be the best of the Ummah, and of course, to be our brother's keeper. I don't know of the time, if I can stop at this point, and then I wait for the question, because I've actually run through what I've said, and there's the references that I give. And of course, there are some other aspects we could also address, especially from the gender-based violences that is prevalent in our society today. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the little we have been able to do as act of ibadah from us. And I pray that we are able to move from here to a next level that will make a meaningful impact in the life of people around us. Aqulu qawli hadha, astaghfirullah wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairun for your attention.
You're muted, sir. We can't hear you.
We thank you so much for these very excellent analysis of the topic that we are discussing now. You're addressing it from the individual point of view, as well as the community and the association and the groups. That above all, you did remind us that we should always have trust in Allah and to make sure we get closer to Allah. And another point you really emphasize is idea of to speak out, not to suffer in silence, to make sure that we look out for each other and for the various association and the community to organize training, just as we are in the UK here trying to do. We thank you so much. And I hope when we come into the question and answer session, you'll be able to elaborate a little bit more on some of these issues, inshallah. Now, I think I need to invite the treasurer to give a very brief financial update, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much for the thought-provoking lecture today. May Almighty Allah continue to bless us all. So I hope you can hear me properly.
Yes.
Good. So I'm just gonna go through, give a rundown of the donation as of from last week up to as of the 30th of July, which was last week. So far we've received £255,169.33 in pounds, and we've received the money in our Naira account, and the converted into pounds, that is £1,051.97. We've also got some funds in our dollar account, and the pound sterling equivalent of that is £23,864.96, which brings us to a total of £280,086.26. We've still got some pledges outstanding, and the total as of the 30th of July is 14,325,000. So we're adding that together. The donations we've received so far without the pledges would be £519,913.74. And if the reverse shortfall with pledges is £500,588.47. So far last week, in addition from last week up to the 30th of July, we received £1,273.57 so far in donation. Please keep it coming. I mean, Almighty Allah continue to enrich our pockets. Amen.
Thank you so much for being very concise, and may Allah, inshallah, help us to be able to make all our targets. And brothers, sisters around the world, please, we need your help to make our project move forward, inshallah. Now, this is an opportunity for everybody who would like to make some clarifying questions to our guest speakers today. So if you wish, you could tailor your question to a particular speaker, if you like. So I believe the floor is now open. Can the technical people help out? Do we have anything to be read out? Yeah.
We have some hand raised, but before then, there is a question in the Q&A. The person says, this is not related to the lecture received today, but I wanted to know, Dr. Lawiye, if it is permissible to celebrate birthdays in Islam. I have heard that it is bid'ah and haram.
First of all, let's remember that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالِ بِالنِّيَّاتِ Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us that the important principle, the intention, is the central point of whatever we do. Now, this is a very dispute. The issue has been going on for maybe 1,000 years between those who adamantly say, well, there's nothing wrong with it because your intention is not to worship anything other than Allah. You're just making maybe a child happy or yourself just to throw a party around. There is no specific injunctions against it. And some people will go the other way saying, look, this is copying those who practice this. Is not among our Eid. It's not Eid al-Fitr, it's not Eid al-Adha. So that argument's been going on until we'll never finish. So let's remember that Islam, the central point of Islam is not about this. That's the first thing we need to always remember. We have the al-halal bayyin wal-haram bayyin. What Allah has prohibited in Quran and Hadith is very clearly laid down. And the other things that people may interpret one way or the other, so people may disagree, it's not new, and we should not overemphasize on these kind of issues to divide the ummah, inshallah. Next question, please, for our guest.
Abdul, please, you have your hand raised. Unmute yourself. Abdul.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thanks so much for all the speakers tonight. My name is Brother Abdul Razak Salahuddin. First and foremost, I have just three things to talk about. The first one is to the organizers of the OU belief that I think to save time and not to put too much pressure on the speakers is to spend about 5-10 minutes before the programs go live so that they can check their devices, check that this is working all right, this is working correctly, so that 10 minutes will save a lot of time and it will not put too much pressure on the, so that is for the second one is to Sister Irina. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Just to add on to what you have said, you've said it so brilliantly.
Thank you.
And that is to say that anybody who is going for volunteering, one thing that person must have is passion for that purpose. When that person has that, whatever obstacles or challenges that person may face along the way, either to employability or to do things to the community, that person will be able, with his passion for that particular thing, will be able to, get through the challenges along the way. Just to add that passion is so important when you are going for that thing. And my question is about working for the community. You know, this has different angles or types. If one is working particularly for a community, i.e. Nigerian community, can we transcend that to, let's say, Ghanaian community? Or I would like some sort of clarification, or you have to be specific, especially when you have registered. Some people who want to do some volunteering work probably will have registered with whatever. But can that go to another community or not? That's what I would like to clarify. And that is the question for Sister Irene. My question for Alhaja Abubakri is that in our community here in this country, there are so many people who are going through hell and they do not want to talk. I know in your presentation, you have said that those who are doing the volunteering services also have to go on training. People who have decided not to talk to other people about their problems, and it is very huge in this country. Many people, they do not want to talk to you because of stigmatization, or maybe because the way they have seen that people, for example, a community, when they have seen you, how you do things, how you handle things, or how you expose things, they do not have confidence to come and talk to you, and they will not want to even share their problems with you. How do we deal with this problem? And this is for our sister Alhaja Samiyat Abubakri. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Transferability of training and volunteering, please.
Thank you very much for your question. And let me just start by saying how correct you are about the need of having passion for everything we do, and how important that passion is, especially when it comes about helping people in need. So yes, absolutely. Without that passion, probably what we would do would not be as valuable as it could be. I personally think helping any community in this world is equally important. So you can use your skills and use them for a different community, for a different project at any time, and that would be very, very helpful. Your transferable skills will be able to be taken to a different community, would be able to be taken to a different project, to a different organization, and that's why they are called transferable skills, because you can transfer them. You're the one that has them, and it brings them into new context, and it transforms them into new skills that help new people, new organizations. So yes, absolutely. From my perspective, there won't be any problem. I can't see any problem with that. Thank you.
Jazakallahu khairan.
Thank you.
You're muted, sir.
Do we encourage people to talk? Dr. Samiyat. Dr. Samiyat, are you there? Okay, maybe we'll come back to that question. Any other question, please?
Aduragba. Wait 1 minute.
Next question, please.
Yeah, I'm just going to unmute the person. 1 minute, please. Sorry. Aduragba, unmute yourself.
Alaikum salam to life. Question, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Arena. First and foremost, I want to let you know I'm interested in the training because I'm actually volunteering as well, and I happen to be a mentor. So I want to boost on that, and hopefully to change my current job as regarding where I'm volunteering for. And my other question is for the my question goes to the sister. I don't know if she's back.
Ask question anyway, and then we'll
okay. Yeah, well, just to support the first caller, as regarding why some people will want to stay silent rather than seeking for help because of victimization and ridiculing them of their situation. So I want her to, give us or give advice on what to do for both parties. Who the person in the issue that's having the issue, what to think of before thinking of I want to ask for help, and for the person she's going to be asking of, help from. So just to give advice on that, so that she's going to be more relaxed.
Samiat back.
Oh, she's okay. Yeah. Do you hear? Did she hear what I said? Sorry.
Yes, I will repeat it.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Samiat, can you? We cannot hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
That's correct. Right. The question is, how do we encourage people to talk, to get help that they need, not to suffer in silence?
Inshallah. Now, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
can you hear
clearly,
me?
Clearly.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. I touch on the issue of confidence, and that is the main problem that we face, especially when giving services to people. But as counselors, the problem here is minimized because sometimes some people walk to you, or in our interaction, you can pick a discussion and then make a follow-up. But sincerely, for what I can offer is that within the Ummah, there will be a person that is closer to that person that we know is not ready to talk. Such a person could be like empowered with what to use who has the problem. I hope you got my point. Hello? Assalamu alaikum.
Doctor, you are muted.
Yes, we are following you. We are following what you say. Yes.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yes.
I am saying that we may have to look out for someone who is closer to that person.
Yep.
Empower that person with this. There's a lot of things we could do, actually, because of the time. There are a lot of things we could do to make someone speak. You can go to the person. You can go to the person and bring out your own problem. Because people don't know that everyone is suffering from one particular problem or the other. They always see themselves as being the only one in the world who is having problem. So if at a point, if such a person is approachable to a point you can walk to, just opening up to the person that, in fact, there's a problem I'm going through, which is the real problem one is going through. Then the person might use that as a stepping point to talk. If actually the person who goes to him or her is not lacking the confidence she or he might have needed. Because in these days, it is rather good to keep your problem. That's what some people say, than to tell some set of people. Because once you tell them, the whole world is alerted. And so that is the problem we have to work on. And that is what a training could give us. When we do the training, those who volunteer to be part of the program will be told some of the things they should know. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of ways to help. There are a lot of ways to help than actually the talk. You can now even study the person to know what type of music he likes, play it for the person, what type of outing and other things you can give.
Thank you so much. That was really very important points you raised there. Question of trust. To trust each other, to trust the community that you are not going to be object of ridicule or, or object of curiosity for other people. Next question, please.
Yeah. Keeping quiet about incest has been often presented as being better to protect the victims from shame. What's your reaction to this? That's for Dr. Samiat.
Well, assalamu alaikum. There is an aspect of the trauma training that says the threshold of the resilience or the way the person can absorb that shock. If you see the word if is there, if it's going to be the best for the mental health of the affected, it is better to be quiet about it. If it is not, it is better to sit the person down and let her know that, well, it has happened, and everyone has a path to follow in life. That might be part of the destiny he has to fulfill. Wallahu alam.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the main thing is keeping quiet might be the best.
Yeah, it is. Well, what you said there, but it is. You mentioned earlier on the importance of not to suffer in silence, because this kind of trauma particularly is very damaging for long term. Anybody who suffer this, they need to find the avenue to address it, because keeping quiet can actually be a destroyer from inside, internally, which would destroy the life later on. So it is important that, as we are doing here in London, Man UK have a lot of program to educate people. First of all, well-being of those who are under your care. The best place for a child to be at home to feel safe. But if they are to be attacked by the very people that's supposed to be caring for them, that is a danger that it can destroy the future of that child. So two parts: educating the adults not to destroy the lives of other people, and also educating the youngsters who are the victim to find the way and give them encouragement to come out, to seek help, to make sure that they are not guilty and they are not the one. People should not put extra burden on them to say, look, if you talk, you are going to destroy the family, you're going to do this. No, Islamically, we know that that's not acceptable, to victimize somebody and then pat it upon them to stop, to say, no, if you do this, you're going to be guilty. So it's very important that we are doing our best to educate family and the children as well. Next question, please.
Just before I read that question, let me just add that we, as part of the Man UK project that Irina has talked about, there is a health and well-being project as part of that. So we're going to be having health talk sessions, which are going to be free with a lot of professionals, and looking at different aspects of health and well-being. And it will be an opportunity for people to actually talk with people, look at some of the issues they are having and how that can be taken care of. That aspect of the project is going to be handled by the Wellbeing Outreach team of the Man UK. And there's a lot, that people can actually benefit from that. We will be sharing the details, inshallah.
That sounds like a Man UK that we know.
Yeah. So the question is for Irina. It says, how do you avoid being exploited as a volunteer?
That's a very good question. And unfortunately, there are organizations out there who take advantage of people and don't provide them with enough learning opportunities. And what we're gonna learn, what we're gonna explore together in the training on the 20th of August is how you can start your volunteering journey by being equipped, first of all, with a set of goals, your own objectives. Being aware of what you want to achieve through that volunteering experience. And I'm not talking only about helping communities. I'm not talking only about using your passion. I'm also talking about what you want to achieve for your own career development. Then if you have a very clear set of objectives, then you will be able to evaluate whether that organization is providing you with the opportunities you need in order to achieve those objectives. Some people might go into volunteering only because they want to indeed make a difference in their community, and for them it's not important necessarily what they will gain out of that. They might just gain, the network of friends, the network of colleagues, and all that. But for other people, beside helping the community, it will also be very important to achieve something for their own life, for their own careers. And in this case, it's essential to make sure that they are provided with the learning opportunities. So the very first step is to establish those learning opportunities and be very honest in the way you evaluate your experience. Look at it carefully and say, am I really learning here? Or am I just being, used? Perhaps my time is being used to do some photocopying, to do, whatever you're being asked to. Is that really a learning experience for you? Is that really something that will enable you in the future to achieve your employment goal? And if it's not, then it's probably better for you to look for a different organization to give your time to.
Yeah, well done. So what you're saying is really you need to be clear about your desirable outcome.
Absolutely.
Before you embark on that journey. Thank you so much for that. Any other question, please? We have about 5 minutes.
There's no question for now, sir.
Okay, so we final summary, 1 minute each, please. Dr. Samiat, can you give us your conclusion remarks, please? Concluding remark. Dr. Samia? Dr. Samia, are you there?
She's not there, she's dropped off.
We just lost her.
Yeah, okay, we come back. You may be lucky to have her back to hear her final thoughts on the subject. Irina, floor is yours.
Well, I really hope you will join our training, and I really hope that on the 20th of August, we will be able to explore together your next steps for your career. Volunteering is a wonderful, wonderful activity for yourself, for your community, for people around you. And volunteering does bring loads of opportunities, loads of opportunities to feel better about yourself, to feel better about people around you, and to feel better about your future. So I really hope you will embrace it, and I will do everything in my power to support you on that journey and to look together for the best opportunities for you, and to see how we can transform your goals into achievements. And one thing I would really encourage you to do is, if you decide to enroll into our training, please look for a job before that training. Look for a job that you think you would like to go for, and send us the person specification, send us the job, so we can look together at what the employer would be hoping to find in yourself, and perhaps we can start looking at how you could convince them that you're the right person.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Dr. Samiat, are you there?
Yeah, she just came in.
Yeah, brilliant. Need to hear your final thoughts. Dr. Samiat? Can you not?
Yes, sir. I'm back.
Yeah. Lovely to have you back. We need to hear your final thoughts, please.
I'm so sorry. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. I want to sincerely appreciate the Ummah for this good job you are doing. And I want to pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us with the problem in our society. We will not relent. We must not relent. We have to keep doing the job, because that is what we have come to do on earth. And we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us live the Islam better than we have met it, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Inshallah.
Privileged to have you with us, mashallah. And we know where to go for the next advice, inshallah. So thank you so much for being with us. And it just left to me to say one of our verses of Quran in Surah Ahzab, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا. Allah has invited us to do that what is so important, and that is to remember Allah often, all the time, when we are happy and when we are under pressure. Always remember your Lord. You will find the refuge for whatever you are facing. Always remember Allah. Allah said in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا. Remember Allah always, a lot, which means we always face challenges in life. That is our car park where we can park our issues. Once we park it with Allah, we have a space to go for training, to learn, to improve ourselves, and to take advice, because we are secure in the knowledge that we park our affairs with our Lord. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward everyone for participating here, our guest speakers, mashallah, Irina. So everybody, please, as soon as you have information, fill in your information to join these promise to be fantastic opportunity to improve ourselves and to embark on a journey of achievement, inshallah. Dr. Samiat from Nigeria, we appreciate your contribution and the way you educated us today. Man UK, mashallah, may Allah continue to give you the strength and to give all of us tawfiq, inshallah. I hand it back to our admin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much for being part of OU Believe today. Jazakumullah khairan to our sisters, Sister Irene and Dr. Samia. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. We appreciate it. And I want to say a very big thank you to our father, Dr. Alawiye, for standing in for Prof today. And we wish Professor Obadirin is well-deserved rest after moderating OU Believe for a whole year. So
2 years.
Yeah. Yes, it's been over a year now. Today is the 57th episode of OU Believe. So Prof has been working tirelessly, and Dr. Alawiye too has been working in the background. Today, you've shown your face to actually moderate for us. So thank you so much for coming up, sir. And I want to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Until we meet again next week.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalam.
Salam.
To leave the meeting.
My parents chose to name me Old Road Islamic and Cultural Center as a baby.
And when the time came for me to start my family, my daughter was also named at this masjid.
Same is my story. I was also born and named there. I attended Maracas and used to play football after classes with my mates.
The Old Kent Road Mosque and Islamic Cultural Center, MAN UK, is a community where all Muslims enjoy the bond of brotherhood and the sweetness of sisterhood.
Old Kent Road Masjid has played an important role in my spiritual and social development and that of my young family.
It is a home, a place of solace for everyone, especially the Muslims of African descent living in London, United Kingdom.
This is a heritage we treasure and must preserve for the next generation. We need you to make this dream come true.
Kindly donate and encourage your family, friends, and loved ones to contribute towards the rebuilding of our mosque.
May Allah bless and reward you abundantly. Allahumma Amin.
Please help build our mosque.
Please stop recording.